What's going on, duelists? Got an important video for you today, and that is that I've hit a pretty significant milestone in my development of my GOAT format simulator. So I am going to be taking beta testing, and there will be info for that towards the end of this video. But first, I want to clear something up, which is I think there's been a little bit of misunderstanding about what this is that I'm doing it, but more importantly, why I'm doing it. So I want to talk about my personal beliefs, and they're pretty simple, which is that I enjoy playing GOAT format. I think it's a good format. That, of course, is not a fact; it's an opinion. And because of my love for GOAT format, what I want to see is that GOAT format becomes sort of a fully fledged member of the Yu-Gi-Oh family, right? Not the redheaded stepchild of Yu-Gi-Oh, not the other format. I want to see it on equal ground with advanced format. That's what I think the game and the community deserves. So, I think a big part of that is having a dedicated simulator for the game. Now, of course, some people, play GOAT format in real life, and maybe, that's having a good simulator isn't that important to them. But much in the same way that, for example, Super Smash Bros. Melee getting Slippy really helped sort of advance their community. I believe that a good, solid, fast, bug-free, user-friendly dueling simulator is what GOAT format needs to sort of get to the next level in terms of its acceptance and its place in the broader Yu-Gi-Oh community. So that's what I'm trying to do. I see a future where online GOAT format tournaments could get more than 1,000 people. I see a future where real life GOAT format tournaments could get more than 1,000 people. And you have games like Magic and Pokemon that have multiple competitive formats, and I think I think that's something that Yu-Gi-Oh needs too. And I'm happy because lots of people play GOAT format, and every day more people are deciding to play. But again, to sort of spread awareness and get more people interested in the game, I think having a dedicated dueling simulator is the next thing that we really need. And why is this important? Again, it's all about sort of the broader mentality of the Yu-Gi-Oh community, right? In Dueling Book, you got to scroll the page to even see GOAT format and watch matches. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, some of the mechanics aren't working right necessarily for GOAT format, and there's some skepticism there. So, in the case of both Dueling Book and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, neither of them is what I would consider a dueling simulator for GOAT format. Rather, what they are they are simulators for advanced format that you can play GOAT format on. And that might sound similar, but to me, there are subtle differences. Things like how in Dueling Book, you don't immediately know, what the GOAT format ban list is. You might build a deck that you think is legal in GOAT format, go to enter the queue, and then it says, "Oh, whoops, buddy, your deck's not legal." So you're basically asking for forgiveness instead of permission. It's subtle things like when you call a judge on Dueling Book for a GOAT format ruling. In many cases, these judges, through no fault of their own, maybe don't play the format a lot and don't really know what the rules are. It's and of course there are features that aren't necessarily GOAT format specific that I want to add, such as being able to run a tournament in the simulator. But overall, if you look at simulators like Dueling Book and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, the developers are spending their time adding cards for current format because new cards are always coming out. If there's some new mechanic that's coming out, adding that. So I feel like to the developers for both of those simulators, GOAT format is kind of an afterthought, right? It's obviously not as big as current format, but then that kind of poses a chicken and the egg problem, right? Where people don't want to build people don't want to dedicate their simulator to Goat format because they go, well, Goat format isn't popular, but then Goat format doesn't become popular because it doesn't have a dedicated simulator, right? So I feel like someone needs to make the first move, right, to sort of get that simulator that is, user friendly, specifically dedicated to Goat format, where the developer or developers can concentrate all of their time on making it as user friendly for the Goat format mechanics as possible. So that's what I'm doing here. I want to show people what is possible. Give them these features that they didn't even realize that they needed, right? Things like how, and I'll log in here just to show you guys. But things like how I have the extra deck, right? So, how we have our extra deck, sorted by level, sorted by whether they're meta targets or not meta targets. Now, obviously, this particular feature by itself, you're thinking, okay, that's, a small improvement. But, if we take, a bunch of things like that, it becomes a big improvement, right? So things like how, I can click on this premature. It auto-fills minus 800 life points. And actually, hold on, let me move myself because I think you guys didn't see what I was doing with the Fusion deck. I was showing you how we can, click levels and filter by meta targets or no meta targets. So yeah, so basically, I think if, some smart people sort of put their heads together and said, hey, this is all of the features that I think the perfect Goat format simulator would have, I can add those features, and then we're just going to have an amazing simulator, and people are going to hear about it and go, wow, this is really cool that there's this simulator that's just for Goat format. And then they'll, consider playing. So that's what I want. This is obviously all a work in progress. But, I did kind of hit a big milestone today, so I want to show you guys that. So what we can do now is, I'm gonna enter this matchmaking queue here. So you'll see up top, I'm logged in as ACP. That's me, of course, and I'm gonna enter the matchmaking queue here. So now the server has info that, hey, this guy's in the queue. If we find him an opponent, we need to match him with that opponent. So now, hold on a sec. I'm going to open another window. All right, we've got a private window here. We're going to go back to the main page, and I'm going to log in as this other member. This is just an account that I created called test member. We're logged in. Notice the background's different here because that's a setting that you can set in your account. And now we are going to go to that same queue, and I'm going to say, hey, I want to enter the queue also. And it says connecting a game. We're connected, and boom, new match started. Test members connected to the match. ACP is connected to the match. And if we go to the other window, oh my god, it's the same thing. So, this took a while to learn how to do. Keep in mind, all of this stuff that I'm doing is basically self-taught. But, now that we have two players connected to each other through a server, this is where the fun starts. Obviously, the program's not done yet, but, very soon, within days, we will be at the point where two players can connect to each other and play a full match. So, on that note, I want to talk about beta testing. And this is very, early stage beta testing. Some people would call this alpha testing because, alpha comes before beta. But basically what I want is I need, maybe 20-ish players or so. And I just need people to sort of, go through the program, try out the basic features, and give me their feedback, right? That's all I want. So, I want people who are good at giving constructive criticism. And basically, what will you do once you are accepted for beta? Well, basically, all you'll be able to do for now is there's basically a sort of cookie cutter Goat control deck that's automatically loaded into every account, and you will be able to use this deck and play mirrors against each other. right? That's really all that you can do here. So you'll notice if I go back, this deck constructor thing is grayed out. So you can't build a deck yet. But again, I don't want people who are expecting a full and complete program. I want people who can, help me through each stage, right? So as I'm adding features, you can test all of the features that I'm adding, go, oh yeah, I like how you did this. I don't like how you did this. Here's something I think you should add, and so on and so forth. So, on that note, here is how you sign up for beta testing. So there are a few things that I need. Well, really only one thing. So the way that all of the beta testers are going to communicate with each other is Discord. So you are going to need to have a Discord account. That is really the only requirement. So I have something else. Hold on. So this app will be at GoatDuels.com. So right now, if you go to GoatDuels.com, you won't find anything because the site hasn't been uploaded to the web yet. However, I do have a GoatDuels.com email. So this is what I'm looking at, right now. So you'll see that my username here is GoatDuelsContact. So what I want you to do is I want you to, basically send an email to me. So who are you going to write this email to? You're going to write it to contact@goatduels.com. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Okay, so you guys can see this. And then for the subject, you are going to put beta testing. And all I want from you is really a few things. So, basically your Discord. So you're gonna type in your Discord. I also want to know what country you're from, and the reason why I want to know that is because in beta testing, I want a variety of people from different countries. Because the servers are located in the U.S., so I want to make sure, for example, that if you're in Australia, the lag isn't too bad for you over there because the data has to travel extra distance. So you'll say country, United States of America. That would be mine. And last, just write a couple of sentences on why you want to be a beta tester. So, I want to be a beta tester because I like goats and own a pet goat, right? I just made this up. And then lastly, there were a few people that messaged me either on Discord or on Instagram already and said, hey, I want to get in on beta. And I said yes. So if you're one of those people who already messaged me, just let me know in your email. So you could say, I messaged you on Discord. My name was John Smith, and you said I could be a beta tester. Now, obviously, I only do this if you actually did message me already. If you lie and say that, oh, you already told me I could be a beta tester, well then, yeah, that probably won't reflect well on you. So that's all you do. So you'll just type this out here, and, you'll send it to me, and again, just to start off, I'm looking with, maybe, 20-ish people or so. So if I accept you into beta testing, I will email you back, right? If I don't email you back, it just means that you haven't been accepted yet. Now it's possible because I'm gonna add to the number of beta testers every couple of weeks. So it's possible that maybe at first you don't hear back from me, but then a month later I email you and say, okay, I'm ready for more beta testers, and so on and so forth. Because I want to start with a small group of people, right? Because if the floodgates open and there's thousands of people, there might be performance issues, so I want to sort of scale up slowly, right? So in the first week, there'll be 20 people. Then after that, maybe 50. Then a month later, maybe 100, and so on and so forth. So that's it. I'll have links at the end screen of this video to some of the the other videos that I've done on this subject if you're like totally confused. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments. And again, if you're interested, if you want to test a, sort of still in progress program without very many features yet, but you want to give me some good feedback, then send me an email. And if you're not interested, that's okay too, right? You can always wait until sort of the full program comes out. But that's it for today. Take care.
I'm always top, won't accept 33. I'm always fresh, never wear a dirty tee. Never drop a game, so I say GG. Master of cards, so they call me MC.